For more now, we are joined by CBS News chief legal correspondent Jan Crawford, who is at the Supreme Court. Jan, let's start with Amy Coney Barrett. What else can you tell us about her?
Well, I mean, she was a highly regarded federal appeals court judge, a former law professor at Notre Dame, where she was considered a brilliant academic, and her writings really reflect that she sees the law a lot like her old boss, Justice Antonin Scalia. She worked for him as a law clerk. All of these things kind of suggest to Republicans that this nomination would be a home run, and Democrats feel just the opposite.
One of the other names that had been heard before was Judge Barbara Lagoa, who is from Florida. Some people thought Trump might go in that direction because of that being a battleground state. Are we seeing a difference in ideology also between these two?
No, not really. I mean, as Ben said, Judge Barrett had long been the presumptive frontrunner because the president had already met with her and then went with Brett Kavanaugh. I think one of the things that really worked in her favor was that, as he said, she had already been vetted. And now, because the White House wants to move so quickly, the fact that she went through this brutal confirmation hearing for the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals, the Chicago-based court, really worked in her favor. They saw that she had gone through the fire and she stood strong. They knew she's been an academic, so she's well versed in a lot of the constitutional law issues she's going to be asked about in the hearing. So time really also was on her side. But there was a huge push for Judge Lagoa during this whole process, not only because of the politics, but people believe that she's also a very staunch conservative.
Jan, Michelle here. What about the timeline for confirmation?
Well, it's going to be something. I mean, there's going to be 2 days that you have to keep in mind, 38 and 99. 38 days till the election, and 99 days until this session of Congress concludes. Can they do it? Yeah, I mean, they've got the votes, they say. Is it unprecedented? No. I mean, there's been times in the past where they've done it really quickly, Congress has, getting a nominee onto the Supreme Court. Justice Ginsburg herself, really around 50 days from the time of nomination to confirmation. Justice O'Connor, under 40 days. But in modern times, those nominations take a lot longer. It is all-out war when you've got a Supreme Court confirmation in these days. And so recently, it's taken more like 2.5 to 3 months. And obviously, that's a lot longer than the time frame that they've got. But they say they have the votes. So if Republicans hold together, it's going to be very difficult for Democrats to do anything about it.
Jan, the list of justices who've acted differently on the bench once they've gotten there versus what a president or others expected of them is very long. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, and it usually is for Republican nominees, Jeff. I mean, it's usually you don't see someone that the Democrats nominate get up here and all of a sudden they start voting conservative. For Republicans and conservatives, this has been a long source of frustration. You've got a Republican president nominating a justice who's going to be a staunch conservative. They get to Washington, and next thing you know, they start getting influence and start drifting to the left. You've seen that over and over again, whether it was Justice David Souter, Justice Anthony Kennedy, even Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. So the promise of a conservative Supreme Court has always fallen short for conservatives. But now they believe that this may finally be the time, if Judge Barrett is confirmed to the Supreme Court, where they would have a solid majority, 6 conservative nominees, which potentially could get you to a majority, even if one of them decided, like the Chief Justice John Roberts did, to go over and vote with liberals in controversial cases.
Okay, Jan Crawford, as always, thank you very much.